Welcome to my very first long-form build guide. In today's video, we will be creating a packaging plant where we can produce 4,320 packaged water per minute. In this guide, assuming I don't f it up, I'll show you step by step how to build one of these.
Just wanna pack up my things and go. Just wanna be free, just wanna zone. Just wanna flow, just wanna hang with the gang, but sometimes chill on my own. You know when the calling's calling you, when the calling's calling more. You know when the calling's calling you, it's calling more.
Guys, I f***ed it up. I'll explain later. Alright, so once you decided exactly where you want to build, in order to do the circle that I did, I'm going to use the catwalk method here. And all you need to do is place down 2 of these catwalks on the outer edge of where your circle needs to be. And then when you sample using middle mouse button, you can just look at it, press middle mouse, and you can sample that piece. You can create this one now. So all you need to do is place it at the edge, and then if you hold control and you scroll your mouse, you see you can kind of like maneuver it around a little bit. Sometimes you might struggle to find the point where you can do it, but just mess with it and you'll be able to find it. So for the circle that I made, it was a 5 degree. So this is 5, 10, 15, so increments of 5. And then what I did was I went 5, I'll switch it to zoom mode, and then I take it out 2. And then here, so now I'm not scrolling again. If you just press and hold control, it will remember what the degrees was or the change was from the previous one, and will apply it to the one that you're trying to build now. So if you hold control, you can just click again, drag out 2, and then basically what you need to do is just keep doing this until you are done. Now, just make 100% sure that you do not mess this up, as your entire build will be based off the circle. So make sure it is 100% good to go. Alright, so as you get to the end, obviously this will not make a full circle, but if it doesn't, that means that you messed up somewhere. And you'll basically have to go back and figure out where you did it and then fix it. Now, if you want to make a bigger circle, you can do 3. So if you do 3, it's obviously going to increase the circle's diameter quite a bit. So using this technique, you can actually go and make a rather big circle just by adjusting the length and or the angles. And obviously you can do a smaller circle as well. Alright, so the next step is going to be to add the foundation in here, which is what we'll actually be building on. Now, the thing that you need to keep in mind is don't put it on the edge and then boom, call it a day. Because the problem is, if you do this, you could, but if you look now, you'll see you've got the slight overlap of edges. Now, that's not too bad, but we can actually do better than that. So if you put it on the edge and you nudge it over 2 times, and same for these, and you pretty much do this for all of them. Right, let me just go to default. This will allow it, so especially if this is your outer edge. So let's say this section here is your outer edge. Now you can get clean lines. I mean, that's as close as you're gonna get. And you really have to get in there to see if there's any problem. But yeah, that's a perfect connection and will be perfect every single time. So if you go around like this and this is your outer edge, you can then place, for instance, pretty much what I did was you can now put a window on there, and you'll see now if I put a couple of windows on here, you can see they line up perfectly because they're set on a base that's perfect. So you can see that is as close as you can get. Alright, so I'm going to complete this entire segment and then we'll check in a second. Alright, so for this, for the water tower, we're going to need 18 water extractors. And I've decided on doing it in rows of 6, so 3 rows of 6. And so we're basically just going to be pushing them out in this direction. There you go. So I'll have the see the pipe's going to come around this side, so we'll have the first water extractor right here. There we go. So a quick little tip to, if you want to line this up perfectly with whatever foundation you've got going, what you want to do is you want to place down one of these, just snap it to your current foundation or wherever you want to line it up to, and then just drop it a little bit down into the ocean or into the water, and just kind of like, I usually just draw like a little square, and then if you then take your water extractor, you can see it wants to snap to the grid. Once I've got it lined up where I want it, so let's see, this might be a little bit close. Let's push it out a bit further. See, it still wants to snap. Yeah, that should be more than enough. So once you get the first one down, what you want to do is you want to go and hold control, and you want to snap the second one down. There we go. Now you can just continue placing them down without any issue, and you know that they are lined up with your grid. So it's a little tip for you guys. Right, let's do the first pipe. So let me just confirm something here. So we're pushing out 240. That's going to be another 240, so we're going to need Mark 2 pipes for sure. So we'll grab the Mark 2 clean pipes, and yeah, we'll run the furthest one past the one that it's supposed to link up with. I'm going to use a square here just to hook up all the pipes, and just to make sure that they're all nice and neat in a row. I'll put these down here. It's basically act like our markers. So I've already got a color made up for this. So there we go. Oh, that actually looks quite nice. We need to do a stack of, we'll do it over here. So a stack of 9. There we go. So they need to end up on this section here. So I'm thinking maybe get the middle ones to just connect to the bottom, perhaps. Have these ones connect to the next one, and then the last one connect there. So actually we'll have these connect to the bottom. So left to the bottom, middle, or right to the top. Okay, cool. Do we keep it like that? Fuck it, we'll keep it like that. Oh, hell yes. Oh, that's sexy. Oh, that's good. Right, let's grab one, see how far we can go. You know what? Let's do the other way around. I want to do so. Well, again, I suppose we're looking at 3.5 again. So let's say there's our half. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it's going to make it. Actually, I'll do the furthest one, because obviously that, if there's going to be a problem, it's going to be that one. So we've got our little half section here. So 1, 2, 3. Ah, you see? You see why I do that? Put that one down and delete the pipe. See why I do that? Right. I thought it was something really good. Mr. Bean, you come to inspect the work. Are you satisfied? I'm talking to you. Are you? Your eyes, motherfucker. Bean, can you piss off, please? Okay, I'm gonna smack you. Go away. Yeah, run to your mommy. Okay. But yeah, this line looks kind of cool. I like it. Mr. Bean, can you please, anywhere else, just not here. So we're gonna have the water come in here, and it's gonna go from here, it's gonna go up. But we need vehicle access at the bottom as well. We'll have a road coming in this way, pick up the water coming out this way, and then I don't know, we'll go to wherever we're going to put the refineries. So I think for now let's just get this bottom one sorted so we can have the height of the vehicle access. Okay, that's already started to take shape. I've been doing some of the math a little bit, and I think we need to change one or two things here. Each machine originally was going to do, like, if we just go according to Satisfactory modeler, each machine is supposed to do like 253.333 or something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to 270, and the reason I'm going to change it to 270 is that each of the packages in the overclock state over there, they require 90. So if I change it to 270, that means one pipe can feed 3 packages, and if I combine the two, obviously I can do 6. So that just kind of rounds things off and makes the logistics a little bit easier. We've got one pipe can now do 6 packages, and we've got 18 packages on the first floor, so that's 3 pipes. We've got 18 packages on the second floor, that's 3 pipes, and we've got 12 packages on the top floor, that's 2 pipes. So we're actually going to change this to only have 2 pipes on top, but we'll do that at a later stage. For now I just want to get these pipes up the wall. Okay, so that brings the pipes up to the little pump station. And you'll see what I do here is, there's 2 options to place it. You can either place it there or there. So whatever one you choose, just keep it consistent. I'm on the, let's call it the outside, or the right side, so the other side will be the left side, but we're on this side, so it will look nice when the pipe goes around. So this one, because we've got one pipe coming up here, we're doing 270 times 2, so our 270 per pump times 2 is going to give us 540, and every machine needs 90. So if you do this, you can see, okay, we need to cover 6 machines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to go all the way to there. You can see I've done some testing already. So for now, we're just going to go a little bit. Just want to get this section done first. And I found that straight 2D works best here. Alright, so we're going to just push these straight through, and we'll do the wall connector afterwards. There we go. And then hopefully this will, oh yeah, it does. It does that. I'm sorry for that. If I hold control, it doesn't keep it there though. Doesn't snap to it. That's fine. Okay, so all these guys are hooked up. So there we go. Sloshing away. I like this animation, it's so cool. Boom. Okay. Conceptually, this is working perfectly fine. You got water coming in. pumps are doing its thing. Luckily, we didn't have to put some more pumps in here, so I'm quite happy with that. Perfect. Okay, that looks kind of cool. So you got all of these coming through here. It's going to pop down there. Not 100% sure how I'm going to do the rest of them, but I suppose we'll see. Alright, so the question is, how do we feed all these machines with the amount of plastic that's supposed to be coming in? It's going to be done through one of these. I don't think there's really a limit to these, but we'll definitely have to thoroughly test the machines and make sure that they can feed enough. Bean, can you just phase through the wall and put it off? Let's think logistics here quickly. But the thing is, we need 6 lines coming out. Well, not so much for the top floor, but we need 6 lines. Let's work on 6 lines. So we need 3 vehicle depots that drop off canisters and 3 that picks it up. So that's going to make our little circle kind of interesting, because I don't think 3, maybe if we expand the circle a bit, we can have 3 bays. Have like a bigger base with a circle. That could work. Alright, so I've fixed the 2 pipes that should be on top. Replaced the 3 pipes with 2 pipes. Did a quick little test run. Just it looks like everything is working as it should. All the pipes are in position. Everything seems to be hooked up. And there we go. So this is 48. So 16 below, another 16, and then 12. And then the way that I set it up was, so a conveyor belt will bring up the canisters, and on the top floor to split it off into 6, and then on the other side will be another 6 going that way. And then if you go down 1, and this is also going to be split into 6, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And then if you look on the other side, we've got a conveyor belt coming up, and then it's going to split off into 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another one coming up to the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the same story below. We got a conveyor belt over there. There's nothing currently hooked up, but it's going to do 6. So 3, 6, and then another 6 on this side. So canisters going up there, canisters going up there, and then that's feeding all the machines. So once they're going to get water from the pipes, which we did just earlier. Once they feed out, they're going to get all the water's going to be coming out this side, and those 6 are going to be going down. There's one conveyor belt going down to the vehicle access area, and then we've got, so that's 6, and then we've got another 6 going to that one, and then we've got another 6 going to that one over there. The top side, the next level is pretty much the same thing. So 6, 6, and 6. So that means that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outputs. And the thing is, we need those outputs to make sure that there's no bottleneck on the actual lines when it comes to the amount of water being pushed out of these machines. But then on this side, so we've got 8 outs or product outs, and we've got 8 products in for the canister. So there's 4 there, and then if you look over here, there's 1 there, and then another 3 there. So that's 8 inputs, and it pushes out 8 water, so 8 outputs for the water, which means for 8 to keep this flowing at the max belt speed that we currently have access to, which is the 780s, we're gonna need 4 of these, because they've all got 2 outputs. That's just for the intake, and then for the output, we're gonna need another 4 on this side to pick up all the water and take it to wherever we need. So in order to be able to match that kind of output with vehicles, that means we are going to need 8 truck stations in total. So this little circle I had in mind initially is gonna need to be a little bigger. So we're gonna have to do like an L shape in here. Alright, so we're gonna need to gut this bottom section, which would make this build kind of interesting because then you've got like an L shape at the bottom. You've got this L shape at the bottom going like this with the building in the corner. Alright, so funny story. I unfortunately lost the footage for the decoration and the build of the vehicle access area. So what we're gonna have to do, and I do apologize for this, professional YouTuber here, guys, is I'm actually gonna take you through how I did this all. So we're gonna have to dissect the construction after the fact. So the one thing I did want to actually show, and so when I did these windows, the problem with the windows was because, as you saw a bit earlier, I had to extend this section or the inner circle, or actually sorry, the outer circle with one point. The problem was that when you now place a window onto it, you can see now that there's a bit of a gap in there. So that's a bit of an issue. So what I did try to do initially was to cover the gap. Actually, let's just do another row here, just so it's a bit more obvious. There we go. So what I did was I thought, okay, well, I need to cover this gap because this looks kind of silly. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do this. I'll go into the edge of so let's say this one was in here. So I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna have to do something here. So I said, okay, well, let's do this. I'm gonna put this one on there, and put. Whoops. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna put this one here, and we'll do like some sort of pillar going up and down. So initially, I had like these pillars going up and down the entire build, which is okay, but it just, yeah. So I had a pillar going on every point where there was a gap. I had to put these pillars in there to cover up the gap. Now, like I say, it's okay, but it's definitely not ideal because it's a chunky little gap. So I messed around a little bit, experimentation, and I found a way to cover that gap whilst maintaining the curve that you get from that 5-degree initial walkway that I did. So it's still a 5-degree bend going around, well, more or less. But to get it to look like this, here, these little cool little joints here, is I had to get a little creative. So I'll show you guys what I did. And I'm definitely going to be using this going forward for other builds that requires windows on the edges, but your foundations, just for whatever reason, doesn't match up. So I'm going to quickly remove these little bits here, just to make it a bit more obvious what I'm doing here. So what I did was grabbed a beam, our little magical beams here, and so okay, we'll do the first window because that's our starting point. And then I grabbed the beam and I went onto the corner right there, and I went out in free mode, just more than 8 basically, and then grab this one, put it on top, sink it down half of one just to match up the corner of the foundation, put it down, grab another beam, and then the beam I made sure to put on the edge of the glass of the window, go more than 8, grab another one, put it next to it, sink it down, and pretty much rinse and repeat. So go more than 8, and obviously what you want to do is you want to aim for this edge all the time so that you naturally start curving in the direction of the building. So going from the edge of, let me take this away and I'll just make sure, because I just want to reiterate this. So I go to the edge of this glass section here, I'll lock in the one bit, and then I follow this line. If I do it from above, you can see it more clearly. until I get past, and I want to do just past 8 meters. So if you see 8 meters, just past 8 is going to be right there. If I grab another one, and let's say I'm being lazy and want to go further, you can see the angle starts changing, and that's not what you want. So going just past 8 meters, obviously there's going to be a small discrepancy, but because every time that you take it, you're going to be putting it in position again. You're kind of like resetting that angle every time. So even though there's a slight discrepancy in the length of the buildings, as soon as you put this one down, you are recommitting that 8 meters to this kind of concept. And because it's on the edge there again, because you kind of like start on that edge, you can maintain this angle pretty much indefinitely by just repeating this technique every time. So you'll see it's right on the edge every time, and this is the best way I could find to not be forced to use the gap. So to not be forced to do this the whole time and go on the edge and then have like a gap and then fill it with a pillar. So doing it this way actually made it so that it looks quite good, and best practice would be to try to get it as close to 8 meters as you can. You won't be always be able to do it, but that is the idea at least. So you can see there's 7.8, then it jumps to 8.8, so we're going to use that 8 and just put it down there, and we'll just basically continue like this. Now, and you'll see every time you replicate this, it's going to be slightly different from the other time. But when you do step back, okay, let's clean this up again. So once you get them all in and you take a step back, ooh, I'm gonna fall. You can actually see it. It looks like it's a perfect fit. It's not really, but it's very close. So as soon as you step back, it does actually look like a perfect fit. So there we go. Bob's your uncle on those ones. So another one I want to show you guys is this copper pipe here, which is just a standard pipe. Just a normal pipe, nothing special here. Alright, so the way that I did it was, you want to get the supporting piece for the pipe, which is going to be the little wall mount. I think you have to unlock this in the shop, but by this time, I mean phase 3, you should already have this. So just again, what I did was, I think I just chose like next to the light, and then I went in, you can see 2, so that's the middle one, that's going to be my 1 position, and then I went in 2 again, but I then went half a nudge down, so holding control and then nudging down. So go into and go up 1. That brings them in nice and close, so you can get this kind of like overlay effect here. So I'm going to do another section here. So you don't want to go too far with them, otherwise they look a bit wonky. So about 2 of these segments should be fine. I shouldn't do that. Go in here, go in 2. The middle one stays exactly where it is. These ones go in 2, but half a notch down. And then this one's going to go in 2 and then half a notch up. And we'll do one more just for demonstration purposes. So 2 in. 2 in, half notch down, and 2 in, half notch up. So we'll grab this pipe, and you want to put it on curve mode, and then go into the middle one, bottom to the bottom. I should have done that one a little bit further out, but fine, it will still work. So there you go. So let's link up these last ones, and let's pretend that we did this all going all the way around. And I'm just going to target these so I can delete them. So in case you don't know how to target them, let me show you. So you press F, okay, I'm going to choose that one, and then you press G, and if you now hold control, you can only target those. So it's a quick way of quickly selecting something that might be a little tricky to select. Right, so once you delete these, and then there you go. We've got this nice little curve going all the way around. Right, so let me show you guys how I did the roof. So we can see there's I'm going to try and match these up because I saw in the recordings there's a slight discrepancy here. So we're going to remove all of these. So you can see what I did was initially, and this is why these are different, is because I think these are done differently than the ones I did over here. So the way I did it was I was looking for a central point that I can kind of like click to, or kind of like link up with. So that section there, because there's a slight overlap, you have to choose between the two of them, but because it's so close it looks like there's only one point, but there is actually two. But yeah, so grab a central point and then bring it up all the way to here, and then you just kind of see, okay, well on the previous one I did this, and then you try to replicate it. So grab the point over there and then bring it up here. You kind of like, you see this, there should be like a line up here if you want to center it, and then you just kind of follow that line and then see what you did there before. So these ones are a little bit more tricky because you can't see the overlap. The overlap's a little weird, yeah. So let's see if we can. So we see those two studs there. You can see there's one stud, so there should be another one up there, but we can't see it at the moment because there's a slight overlapping going on here, kind of like Z fighting almost. So I think that is the line. If you look, if you can like follow the line with your eye, you should see that it kind of matches up. Alright, so we'll do another one. So grab that like kind of center point. This one should be easy. And we go straight up to there. Alright, so while they don't end at the same point, you can see they are symmetrical because they are kind of like aiming at the same point, which is perfectly fine then. So go to the end and just zoop it up. And go to that end, zoop it up. And one more, and there we go. So these, slight discrepancy there, they are looking a little bit better. So in all fairness, I should really actually do them all, but I'm not going to do them for this demo. I'll probably do them off camera. And when we come to the end, because they all start at the same point, they should all look the same there. Oops. That's not right. Go away. That one, and then that one. And then effectively you'll end up with this this effect going all the way around. But yeah, I know my OCD is not going to allow this kind of shit. So I'll have to come back and fix that. Alright, so another thing I want to show you guys is, so the way that I did all of these was again using a beam. These things are so versatile. So we're going to grab the normal beam, and what you want to do is, so we're working off this edge there, so that edge, just kind of like our markers for exactly where we want to be. So again, grabbing a beam, and we're just going to do the default, just bring it out a little bit, and again. And the only reason we're using the beams are just so we can easily snap to them. So it doesn't matter how long this section is. All that matters is the starting point. You want this to be the same. So grab the beam, and then when you lock it in here, what I did was, if you look up here, you see I half nudged it out a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to aim for the end. You want to lock it in. You want to push it forward 4 times. We're going to push it forward 4 times, and then holding control, nudging it out all for 1. So we're going to do this the same for everyone. So whilst you don't have to do it exactly the way that I do, just pick whatever way, like you can do it. You have to go in 4, obviously. You can do it over there, or over there, or over there, or even there. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's the same across the board. For this one, I'm doing it half a nudge out. So we're going to go again on this one. Come on. At the edge, going 4, half a nudge out, lock it in. Right, so now we've got a bunch of points in here. So now we need to link up that corner with that corner with that corner, and so on and so on. So we're going to start over here because obviously there's a gap. So beam again. In free mode, you want to lock it on that edge, and then over there. So same story over here. Lock it in, and again. The big thing with this technique is all you want is you want this beam to be more than 4 meters. Then this will work perfectly fine. So you'll see there, 5 point something. This obviously is going to be a bit longer. It doesn't matter how long it is as long as it's more than 4. And the reason you want to have more than 4 is when you grab the beam and you aim for the edge of, or the pillar, and you aim for the edge of the beam, lock it in, push it in 1, and then 4 out. So if this connection, the gap between them is less than 4 meters, it's gonna stick out like this. So as long as you can go more than 4 meters, if that is an option, then you'll get the perfect connection. So we're gonna do that one first. Let's just get all of them the same, so you guys can see what I mean. Now this is where you get the cool connection, or the really kind of like tight knit joints like I've got over here. See this one? That's the wrong way of doing it. That's the right way. So to get it the right way is now, because you're locked onto that edge and that edge, you need to work off that edge and that edge. So I'm going to grab a beam again. So instead of doing this, which is what some people might do, all you need to do is just the opposite of that and just lock it onto the other side, push it in 1, and then go over 4 again. Because you're on that corner, it will be a perfect fit right there. As you can see, that corner is clean as hell. So just keep doing this, and it can be a little tedious doing this, obviously, but the result is of such quality that it's definitely well worth it. So we'll come back and I'll show you guys in a second what it looks like. Right, so all we need to do now is just target these beams and just delete them again. And if you look now, you've got these smooth joints going all the way around your build. So when you step back a little bit, it looks like a curved pillar section, but it's obviously just really clever angles. That's all it is, or use of clever angles rather. All right, let's see. The last thing I will show you guys is just a little office area of mine. I'd like to include offices all the time. And as you can see with my standard SOP, my standard operating procedures is we need nice walkable open areas so you can traverse this factory if you don't have a jetpack or a hoverpack. So, but yeah, as you can see here is I want to be able to walk everywhere on my factory and not be hindered by machines and placement and squeezing through. So if you do like this, it just gives your build a little bit more character. Alright, let's push over to this side. So coming to this one, this building here is part of the, if you guys look at my blueprint showcase, this is just 2 of those small buildings stacked on top of each other. So I'll show you now what I mean by that. So let's grab this piece. So if I grab a full piece, you'll see it's one of these. So all I did was I placed down 1, and then I placed down another one, and all I had to do was just move them around until I get to the desired point. And if I place the second one, I just need to then delete everything on the inside, and then you end up with this nice little kind of like office opening thingamajig. Anyway, so the way that I did this little display area here, so not this, but I'm talking about the bottles going around, is I had to just get like, luckily there was enough room for me to be able to do this, is I had to get the little loop going at the bottom. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So yes, this does clip through, but I think for display purposes this is absolutely fine. And it also, and since it's pretty much hidden, you can't really see anything. So generally I don't like to clip things, but if it's for style points, then yes, the rule of cool does override the no clipping, or the no clipping general rule. So all it is you make this little loop, there's your lifts, and just go around. And once if you want to feed something, and so let's grab a bunch here. Just show you how I fill this up. And then to get this nice loop going, obviously you're going to have to be able to cut into that line. So we'll do a merger, and I'm going to get a line out to here, and we're going to do organization. There we go. Second link. There we go. Alright, so all you need to do is basically just tap into the loop. And then if we go over here, we're going to take the water, which is over there. And then that gets fed into this loop. So the idea is putting too much water, so you oversaturate the line. And then what will happen is it will slowly start filling up. And once the line is full to saturation, you'll see it will stop because it's basically a full line. So at that point, perfect. You can then remove this line that you used to tap into it. Get rid of all this. And then all you need to do is remove one of them and they'll start looping again. And there you go, Bob's your uncle. So that's how you do like this little display loop. Then we've got our little loop section. All this thing, this little computer here, all this is obviously just signs. As you can see here, that's just a bunch of things placed strategically to get like a little keyboard going there. These are all just little dots and whatnot, and then you've got just the normal signs with some information on there. I use the beams again to get the angles, and if you play around a little bit, you get the angles for these. So actually, let me do just a quick little demonstration here. So if you get your beam there, I'm going to do another beam, and let's say we lock it in, lift it up a little bit, and we'll be like, okay, cool, that's fine, and then put another one in here, and then we'll get this one at, say, that angle. We'll move it out there. And then with just a whole bunch of little nudging and playing around with it, you can get it to a point where you can just manipulate it a little bit more. So let's grab one of these. Let's do the one with the little dots and whatnot. So let's say, let's grab the keyboard. You can put the keyboard there. And be like, okay, cool, that's the keyboard. And we'll do a nice little display on top. Let's say we want one to come out a little bit more horizontal. So we're going to grab this one again and just get the one position in. And then, so once you've got the one in there, you can just kind of scroll a little bit until you get to the desired angle. And that's not right. Let's see, maybe I can still target it. Yeah, there we go. Get the arrow on top. And there we go. So you can now kind of like place this one down. Let's do like that, and we'll grab these little dots ones just to fill that gap. Ah, there we go. Let's replace this one with something else. Just going to do this again. A little soft clipping going on there. And yeah, so you just keep playing with these different angles and experimenting, and then you can do like a little keyboard or interface kind of scenario. And obviously do this in the blueprint maker, and then make yourself a blueprint. Just place some parts in there. As you can see, this is just a support beam with a frame pillar, and these are little beam connectors. And then just play around, and you can get one of those. That's pretty much it for this build. What I will do in the future, I'll be sure to document the build a little bit better, so I do apologize for that. Alright guys, again, thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, you guys are awesome. And again, for my patrons, thank you for your support. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please post it in the comments section below, or join my Discord and we can have a fair chat. So I'll see you on the next one.